Hey everybody, this is Ahdoom, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Let's Play Darkest Dungeon. Wanted to start off the episode by apologizing for the last episode. I was trying to do something with Twitch, and the video and audio quality came back just really rubbish. Unfortunately, my internet connection cannot sustain high-quality streams, and it was a compromise that led to nothing but misery in any case. If you come from Twitch regardless, hey, welcome to the channel. I hope you guys have fun catching up on the playlist to see how we've gotten to this point. If you're a subscriber already, hey, welcome back. Love to have you guys here as always. If you want to have a character named after you, just let me know in the comments below with what you want your name to be and your class. And for everything else, it's time to dive into the ruins. We have a nice medium level apprentice map for a fairly meh trinket, 2 busts, and a decent amount of cash, as well as Silence in the Crypts. We're going to bring on a level 1 leper with an okay spread of abilities, an antiquarian who's going to be acting in a support role for debuffs and moderate damage and blights, as well as a jester and a vestal, just to keep things interesting. And while I've got this vessel open, we'll quickly respec her because we can. Everyone has tried. I've tried my best to make everyone as unsquishy as possible. Again, the purpose of faffing around for this particular round is to make sure that all of the guys that I currently have quirks being removed on and stress being removed on and so on are ready for us to re-enter the dungeon with the Baron. If by chance I get to have a bumper crop that appears again, I'll happily take that just to save me a bit more money. But again, antiquarians are a pretty surefire route to getting you some excellent treasure. With that said though, we are going to the ruins, so we need to pick up 2 holy waters at least, 2 skeleton keys, 2 shovels, and a stack of torches, and 4 stack of food is 4 as well. And we'll do a quick sopperoo there to make sure that they take out of their inventory as well as can be expected. Don't need any blood because no one is cursed in this party, but that can change at the drop of a hat. And for everything else, there is MasterCard. Let's get in there. Oh, I've been having fun making these. I've been trying to play around with a few different formats. Again, just trying to get a few more people to see my stuff, getting onto Twitch, trying to put some things out here and there. But you know what? At the end of the day... Oh no, my shovels are all gone. This might end in pain or misery or both. In the meantime, 2 shovels are already spoken for in this medium map. No traps that I can see, so we'll just press on regardless and make sure that we torch up before we enter this treasure room battle. Okay, Fusilier, Cutthroat, and a Bloodletter for us to contend with. Blanket Fire for an early start there, and pretty healthy damage across all of my guys, unfortunately. What have I done? Okay, this guy is clearly configured as a finale. Yeah, he's configured as a finale jester, which is fine. I mean, I can work with that. In fact, let's try that out. You know, it's not every day that I get prompted with it, so forward by 3. That's just fine with me. We'll probably start with a stun if we can, just to get the most out of our torchlight and hopefully knock someone out for a turn. Yes! Fold on by just the chops. It's the only thing that this chap can do. We could try and knock him back, but it's not worth it. 13 damage, pretty darn healthy, and Rain of Whips goes down. 1 damage across the board. How many bleeds? Oh, bleeds on everyone. Literally bleeds on everyone. This might not end well, that is for sure. Don't have many options aside from dropping down some Festering Vapors or reducing accuracy, and actually those are both pretty good calls. Festering Vapors, not the most incredible thing unless you have quite a few blights that can follow on immediately afterwards. So let's drop some damage. Why not? No, Flash Powder. Let's increase our chance to be missed. That's the thing that counts for me. Negative 10 accuracy. Oh, negative 24 accuracy. Wow, on the Bloodletter. Oh, because of course we have the finale there. Let's try for the kill. Why not? 16 damage. Nothing to cry about, that's for certain. And Blanket Fire goes down. 1 damage on everyone, and it is absolutely party heal o'clock, I think. Absolutely indeed. Let's try and keep things going and maybe get an early kill. Wow. Yeah, good job, Antiquarian. You made it happen. Party heal goes down to counteract some of that bleed damage that we've taken over the last few rounds, and let's keep things going. Slice and dice in the first 2 positions for a pretty healthy spread of damage there, considering the bleeds that are coming through as well. We'll take care of all corpses though, and make these guys shuffle a little bit further forward, and in the coming turns we should have some better options for what to do. One of those things may be stress management, and I think it might be time to make that call on the leper and look at our next set of options. These debuffs are still in place for 2 damage. Don't want to be doing anything until that damage debuff of 40% clears, that's for sure. Never stab on the cutthroat, or yeah, let's take the cutthroat out. 5 damage, very respectable, and let's keep that going with a chop. Done, and deaded to the end. Blanket Fire goes down once again, and everyone dodges this time around, thankfully. And in the Vestal's turn, we'll probably drop a party heal one more time. Nice, and it's 4s all around. How wonderful. Right, that bleed is finally cleared off, and stress levels on our guys are pretty negligible. Let's drop a party buff. Nicely done, and we still have one more round of debuffs going. Let's get some damage rolling, or let's just take out his accuracy. That makes sense to me. Chance to hit is non-existent. That's the best thing I can possibly hope for. One more party heal to top everyone off. 3s all round, and pretty darn respectable. Only a few points shy on... Oh, okay, spoke too soon. Spoke too soon. Everyone is rocking damage, but fortunately no one is rocking a bleed any longer. Go for the insta-kill on the Fusilier, but it does not quite work out in my favor. With that said, though, we can take care of a bit of stress as a faff. Let's worry about that Vestal. No problems there. And next up, let's look at another Blanket Fire. Fortunately, the accuracy debuffs have kicked in now, and that has worked nicely. We will try and buff up the focused heal on the antiquarian, though, just to keep her alive and tracking, and I think we can just seal the deal right now, right then, and very, very nicely. Good haul of treasure there. Not going to worry about that anti-venom, though. That is something that I can live without and close this off. I'm going to do a bit of a different thing now and kind of organize for a reposition. I'm guessing that these all work from everywhere. Yes, they do, and that's the most versatile combination. Alright, I'm going to leave that treasure chest alone just for now, because I have a strong feeling that things will be thrown out quite quickly. There'll be a hunger check, there'll be something, and that will put us in a good place. That said, we've got a pack of bloodsuckers on the offing for us right now. Pretty good chance for an insta-kill on anyone we like, but let's focus down on that gatekeeper for the moment. Boom, 16 damage, and he is absolutely dead. Some stress is reduced, but our damage dodge and accuracy has been nuked completely. Thirst goes down the antiquarian, and she has picked up the curse. Which is regrettable, but we have some blood in case she does suffer from it. Let's try and get an insta-kill down that sycophant to make sure he doesn't give me any more grief, and he does shuffle them forward nicely by position. Predigestion goes down for 4 damage, and that's fine by me. No blight either, so we are looking absolutely fine and shiny. Party heals, I think, are the order of the day. Yes, indeed they do, and beautiful crit in that Jester as well, taking away all of his stress. Once again, they keep focusing down on that antiquarian, but she is too nimble and hardy. What we will do, though, in the turn that we have is drop a debuff. Debuff resistance is only 40%, and that works out fine for me. Let's get this back row supplicant in his place, but unfortunately that debuff does not take. Let's try it again, though, just for giggles. Oh, right. Yeah, definitely not taking there. Let's just try and do some damage to position 2 to make sure that our leper can take him out in his next turn. Lovely stuff. Given the options we have available, let's drop a party buff. Party buffs do stack in ways which are absolutely glorious, that I love. And that one supplicant is now dead and buried. Predigestion goes down to the Vestal, who takes 5 damage, and no other ill effects, which is just fine by me. We can deal with that. We'll probably drop yet another party buff until the debuffs on that Jester have expired, which will be coming through next turn. Definitely dropping a Judgment here just to recoup some of our health. 9 damage done and 6 health recovered. If I've ever seen a Vampiric Strike, that is it. And let's get the kill in with that Supplicant. Boom, shakalaka. We are free and clear. Alrighty, so we have a problem. Don't need to get that invitation. Don't necessarily need to get that portrait. That's not really worth that much, but that rare antique is something that I want. Fortunately, we have gold that can be thrown out, and I'm going to have to live with that decision. Yes, I am. Alright, nothing in that crate. Let's quickly shuffle back in place and keep that Jester in a good row for an opening finale, followed by support for a few turns, and small change for gold. That is regrettable, but acceptable. and torch up, get in, and try and stop sounding like Oprah. Courtier, Acolyte, Soldier, and Brawler, all looking to make my life a misery. 4 damage on the Vestal to open things up, and 18 stress goes on. Let's consider our options carefully. We can insta-kill that Acolyte with almost no concern whatsoever, and we will. Boom. It's funny that I use Finale to open. It's an observation. It's funny that I use a Finale to open. It's not very clever, it's not very witty, it's not very useful, but it works. Let's take the chance of an insta-kill on that soldier. Won't work out, but that's just fine by me. 8 damage is taken away, and this guy is not long to this world. And I have Hugh. Not only a friend of mine from primary school, but also a useful attack. Oh, double miss! That is deeply regrettable. Graveyard Slash goes down for 8 damage. Wow, okay, so I am being punished for my hubris. Let's consider our options carefully. I could try and remove this person's ability to successfully hit me, or I can just kill a guy. Let's just kill a guy. Let us just kill a guy, indeed. Stress levels are relatively high on the on the Vestal, but I will party buff instead, just to make sure we get early attacks in. Rend for the Gods goes down but it's dodged. That Antiquarian is too slippery for her. 4 damage from Tempting Goblet, and the stress just keeps piling up. I think it's now time for us to look at some different options. We will be removing that Courtier's accuracy if we can. Yes, we can. And yes, we can. Let's do a focused heal on the Leper to make sure that he has a free turn next time around to do some damage to that Brawler. And I think I'm going to knock back and clear corpses. Not to do him damage, but to get that Courtier in arm's reach. I'm going to keep debuffing him though, because his resistance is low enough that it's going to be worthwhile. Dun, and Dunsky, all looking fantastic, and let's take care of some of that Vestal stress. That goes without saying. I've got 1 round left in those debuffs, and I'm okay with that. Knife in the Dark on the front row, but dodged, dodgy dodge. Rend for the Old Gods goes down, and 3 damage is taken, which makes this Leper a candidate for a self-heal, especially with those bleeds ramping up. But if I can get the heal in place of the Vestal, his turn is freed to hit heavy on the front rows. Let's see what we can do. Chance for an insta-kill. Better chance for an insta-kill. Let's take a better chance for an insta-kill. Yes! Very well done. Very well done indeed. And let's now exchange our debuffing to that Brawler to keep them on the straight and narrow. Keep de-stressing that Vestal until we don't need to no more. And let's consider our options carefully. I think a Judgment's going to be called for. And that's the kill. Nice round. Very nice round. Alright. Few more medicinal herbs. Another stacked minor antique. And that gold is going to have to be a regrettable loss. No, it's not. Gold stack's really high. I can afford to forget about a singular torch. Alright, our inventory is looking no more empty than it was before. We're going to take a chance on that chest to see what it has in store for us, and hope for the best. Again, food situation is looking fantastic. I would go so far as this is called excessively fantastic. We have to keep that shovel. We need to keep those keys in case we get a secret room, and all we have in place is a bit of gold and a bandage, so nothing to be worried about by any means or measure. Looking for corrupted altars, that's the name of the game in this exciting episode. We're going to have to keep holding on until we find them. Right, first hunger check comes through, and that's nothing to be alarmed about. In fact, I'd say it's overdue. Let's reposition that Jester as well, just to try and take advantage of that opening move insta-kill on the big bad uglies that we might find in the back rows. Pressing forward, we're going to use up that shovel and free that inventory space. Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. Would rather have more shovels in a free inventory slot, but that's just how the game goes sometimes. Check for some heirlooms there, and we pick up a few busts. Bust can be useful. And just before we enter this room, we have a nice, delicious sip of my whiskey. That goes down smooth. Right, it's an empty room, we know that already, and so is the next. So it's just a question of carrying on and checking for traps. One more hunger check, and our inventory problems are going away very, very rapidly, as is our ability to survive things. Let's just take a reduced chance on that. Ah, well, too much to hope for. 9 damage taken and 18 stress built up. Very regrettable, but them's the breaks from time to time. Another empty room, and our torch situation is looking a little bit grim. We're going to be using stunning attacks on that Vestal preferentially, and very regrettably, we are going to have a bit of stress and health damage done to us by that obstacle. Alright, just a crummy stack of bookshelves. We're in dim light now. Couldn't quite get there soon enough to torch up. Got a mixed bag of an Arbalist, Courtier, Soldier, and Rebel. If we have a chance to get a kill on that Courtier, I'm going to take it immediately. Let's see how we do. Boom. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Alright, let's focus on getting our... as much as we need our torch. Actually, this is only going to be +6, which isn't going to be enough to get us all the way to where we need to be. Let's just drop a Judgment down in the back row. Nicely done, 8 damage, and that isn't anything to be embarrassed by. Crawl in the back position, but it's a miss despite my dodge debuffs, which is just fantastic by me. Chance for an insta-kill and some hefty damage. Don't mind if I do. Oh, double miss! I've got to stop using that stupid hue. I don't like that hue. It's a bad hue. He's not good to his mother. Alright, let's reduce the accuracy of that Arbalist to make sure that we don't have to worry about any future attacks. Bump of the Night goes down to the Leper for 4 damage, but no ill effects. Graveyard Slash the Antiquarian, 5 damage, and she's fine. Look at her, she's happy, she's singing. You know, she's got abilities and stuff. Bit of stress reduced there, and let's keep those stress reductions coming with some de-stressing on the Vestal. Probably the most concerning person for us to deal with is going to be the back row bandit, but I'm not going to be too worried about him with his reduced accuracy. We'll go for the stun. We'll go for the stun of the rabble. Why not? Need the torch. Nicely done. We're still in dim, so we aren't activating our bright or radiant abilities on our curios. That's okay. Graveyard Slash goes down, and it's dodged once again. I am happy with that. Everything is fine. Let's get a chop down on this chap here and get the kill. Fine by me. Alright, let's keep things going now. Let's make this guy as useless as they possibly can. How far does this stack? It stacks up to 3, and I've got no complaints about that at all. Let's keep the stuns going on this front position as much as it may not work. It does, and we're back in Radiant as well without having to spend a single torch. Inspiring tune of the Vestal, and she's looking much less peaked than she has been recently. Chop goes down, but by the same token, we could also probably just clear some corpses and get that unpleasant little Arbalist in range for ourselves. Bayonet jab goes down, and it's a dodge because of course it is. You've been debuffed. To the middle, I was going to say something quite rude. You've been debuffed prolifically. How about that? That's how much you've been debuffed. Let's advance forward and reduce their accuracy collectively even further. Don't mind taking a debuff on that chap there because we're entering into an empty room. We'll probably open up with a party heal at this stage as well, because if these guys can hit me, I will... well, I wouldn't be like horrendously surprised. Like, it's entirely appropriate that they hit me from time to time, but I don't think it's going to be a factor for me. Bayonet jab goes down and is dodged because again we've just debuffed them so prolifically, and it's a chop for the kill. Nope, he gets a dodge in himself. In the meantime, it is an opening move with my Jester, and that finale is just a thing of beauty. Alrighty, so everything gets picked up pretty handily. Those bandages are the most likely candidate for destruction, and let's check behind the store to see what we have to deal with. It's a big empty nothing, as expected. Let's double back and carry on. Craving has gone down on my Antiquarian, but I'm not too concerned, to be entirely honest, because I have more than enough blood, to be honest. Key thing I'm looking for right now is to get some free inventory slots so I can take full advantage of my Antiquarian's abilities. Now, we are going to take some damage from clearing this rubble manually. That's unavoidable. That stress has to come through. It's regrettable, but it is how it is. Crate is empty, and yes, there is no blood, but thank you for freaking us out a little bit. That's very, very welcome. Let's take care of one corrupted altar, consecrate that. Yeah, let's make you holy again. And one more hunger check comes through. We are running low on food, and it is getting to be slightly concerning for me. This could well be an altar, but we have a battle to deal with first. A Courtier, an Acolyte, a Brawler, and a Defender. Tempting Gobble goes down to the Vestal, and she takes 4 damage plus probably about 18 stress. Yep, there we go, good guess. Eldritch Pool goes down to the Antiquarian, and hopefully that does not screw my pooch, but it does, unfortunately. Rent of the Old Gods goes down on the Jester, but he gets the dodge in. And I do not like this at all. Right, let's debuff these guys. Let's debuff these guys. Let's drop a stun if we can on somebody. Yeah, that Acolyte looks like the right target, but unfortunately we miss. Still get the Torchlight for it, but it is a regrettable action, and nonetheless 4 damage taken on the Antiquarian, and unfortunately my Leper will get the first turn there, which kind of bites, but we will have to find a way to live somehow regardless. Accuracy has been debuffed on quite a few people. Let's keep those debuffs rolling on that Courtier, who I loathe with every fiber of my being for the stress that he gives me. That Jester gets the first turn in. Finally, it's time for us to look at who we can kill, and I think we want to be killing that Acolyte just to avoid the chance of stress coming down and making our life a misery, and get back into the right position to start doing some meaningful damage. That Courtier, we're going to keep debuffing until he's completely debuffed, so debuffed that he will never hit anything. Rend for the gods, and only 2 damage this time around, and resist. Oh no, bleed does take, which is regrettable. We have quite a bit of damage dealt to the Antiquarian, so it's time to give a focused heal to her, and 7 HP tops her up nicely. Tempting Goblet on the back, but it's a miss because of course it is. Your accuracy is profoundly reduced. Profoundly. Alright, let's try and get a kill in on that Brawler. Nicely done. That takes handily, and deadweight goes down on the Antiquarian, who dodges, fortunately. Good dodges all round, guys. You guys are dodging good. You're artful dodgers, I go as far to say, and you should consider yourself at home. I will give 10 brownie points to whoever can guess the reference for that. And let's see. Let's try one more accuracy debuff to see if they stack that far. Yes, they do. Negative 48 accuracy. But you can still get hits in, unfortunately. That really bones. But what can you do? I'm going to start a judgment on the back road, start taking this guy down. 9 hit points, only 1 left for me to remove from his life before he's entirely dead. Go in for some damage to the defender, and everything is taking deadweight once again the Antiquarian, but she's just so dodgy. She's very artful at dodging. You must say that about her. Okay, and stress levels of the Vestal are getting better, but they are still quite bad, to be entirely honest. Let's get a Vapor down there to take this guy out and stop us from to take any more stress damage. And I'm going to invest the turn in faffing if I can, by boosting our Torchlight and hopefully getting a stun. 4 damage taken. This guy has 1 hit point left, and I literally have to waste turns at this stage to get to the outcomes I want. Self-heal with a buff. I don't mind if I do. Attaboy and go. Attaboy and go. Alright, carrying through. We can get a kill now, but we're not going to, because we want to give our Jester just one more chance to reduce stress if we can. There we go. Alright, it's open season. Let's take him out. Take him out, boys and girls. Judgment down, and there we go. Nice. Right, combat is done, and the loot is very healthy. Let's free up yet another inventory slot by purifying an altar, and our food situation is looking a little bit grim. But I think that will be all the quest locations we have to deal with. Now, who has the highest chance to disarm? It is a Jester, and it does work out in our favor. We'll put him back into first position, though, just to make sure that we can take full advantage of his unique skills and abilities. We'll grab that torch. Very, very handily and very, very well timed, because we'll need one in just a few moments. Pressing through the end of the corridor, there we go. And let's check behind the store to see what we have in store. Still can have enough food for 1 health check, but our inventory is looking a bit full now that we've purified all necessary altars. We have to make a decision about what we're going to do next, and we have options. Scouting has come through quite nicely. What we do know is we have a treasure room down this way. No scouted secret rooms, but they don't always appear, and we don't always get them, honestly. Trap comes down and does some damage and stress, which is regrettable, but there's no reason why we can't go spelunking for heirlooms. Those busts are stacking nicely. Still have room for 2 more. We'll torch up, though, as we carry on into this dungeon. Haven't yet gotten a health check. Let's see what we have behind this door. Well, we know what we have. It's an empty. Let's press on and not tarry. Quick check through here, and we do have a pack of bloodsuckers, but we can do something about them. Maddening One unfortunately comes in as the first attack. Nothing we can do about that. Some damage taken, and enraged side as well. Wow, these guys have some speed on their side. And out of position 2. That's going to be difficult and frustrating. Alright, Predigestion goes down. dodged by the leper though, which is just fine by me. Let's drop a finale in place and get a kill down on this gatekeeper. Beautiful crit for 30 damage and everyone gets shuffled forward. Very, very handily. That Vestal is still like chronically out of position, but there is not much I can do about that. Go for a chop on the supplicant that has a chance to do me damage in case I get a kill and a do, because I'm awesome and everything is just fabulous. Let's get a miss down on the sycophant and hope for the best. And let's do it again. Yeah, that's right. Thirst goes down on the marked target and 4 damage is taken, and this guy does get a buff, and don't know what you could call that. It's like a mutate of some kind. Let's focus on our stress levels though, because that is the one thing we can do the most about. A party heal is the best course of action I have at my disposal. Need to really waste that antiquarian's turn by moving forward, but what can you do? Gather Blood goes down again on that Vestal, 2 damage taken, and the curse is resisted, fortunately. Okay, let's try for that sycophant, and we get the dodge in, unfortunately. Dodge is not a hit, even though we get them from time to time. Deafening Wine goes down to antiquarian, but she dodges because this guy is debuffed something chronic. Unfortunately, with the curse, she does drop a pass. Let's do another party buff here because it's the best of all available options. And everyone's looking nicely topped up. We'll look at stress levels specifically. 35. That's the one for us to reduce down. And down by 11. Not too shabby at all. Gather Blood goes down on the Jester. And he takes 3 damage, but suffers no other ill effects. Let's try and wail down the Supplicant. Still has 1 hit point left, which means he'll get a turn in the next. Bombing Run goes down the back. A dodge and some damage, as well as a bleed as well, which is really surprising. I mean, do I have? I do have some bandages, and why have we not used that yet? That's a silly thing to have done. Alright, let's Inspiring Tune ourselves, because, well, why not? If the Antiquarian gets a turn, well, I mean, we could try and deny them one as well, which is pretty important, but I'd rather faff if I can and try and improve the lot of my Jester's life. There we go. And let's finish off this. Oh, come on, are you kidding me? What quirk have you picked up that you're so bad at hitting things? Oh, I'm sure I'll find out in a few moments. I'm sure I'll find out in a few moments. Alright, 24 stress is the highest, and we'll take care of that nicely. Could try and debuff these guys. The debuffs on this Jester are well and truly expired, but I need to manage stress levels as we're exiting the dungeon shortly. I think 6 damage and a big amount of stress is taken there, which is regrettable. Let's just take out that supplicant now, because things are getting realish. Heal up on the Antiquarian, and things are moving thick and fast as we go through this. 14 damage, finally get a hit on that sycophant, and we are clear and in control. And fortunately, we get another torch as well in the mix. That keeps us going for just one more round. Again, we'll need to use that torch as we get to this doorway, as we're entering a battle room with treasure. And who do we have? A courtier, an acolyte, a soldier, and a brawler. My golly, let's think about how we're going to start this off. Well, we forgot to move into the right positions, but we can certainly debuff these guys before we finale. And we do have the surprise on them, so there's no reason why we wouldn't do that. Alright, that was fairly nicely started. Now let's look for our best insta-kill. Chance hit is 80 on both, but I think I can take out that soldier guaranteed. Yes, we can. Nicely done, and some stress reduction there as well. Can look at reducing your debuff resist is higher than yours. Let's just get that courtier. Let's make that courtier as useless as we can. We want him missing whenever we possibly can have him do that. Try and get a stun on that acolyte as well, because she has no debuffs on her, and it makes sense for us to buff our torch while we kill people as well. Temple Goblet goes down, but a dodge is given. Very, very grateful there, RNGesus. I thank you kindly. Rent the Old Gods is dodged as well. Lovely, lovely stuff. Let's get a finishing blow, finale, down this acolyte, and she is dead and dealt with. And some stress is reduced to boot. Let's keep doing the debuffs on that courtier. Again, there is still a little bit of accuracy debuffing that we can do. Tempting Goblet, though, will strike the Antiquarian and increase the stress up to 44. And that Rent for the Old Gods is going to keep adding to her miseries with a bleed to boot. Alright, let's focus a heal on her if we can. Nicely done, up by 8, and she's going to live to fight another day. Chop down on the Brawler. Not quite enough to kill. 1 hit point off, but we can deal with that, I'm sure. Let's start dealing with the stress on that Antiquarian. But she won't let me. Well, that is a pickle. Alright, let's de-stress ourselves then. Jester goes down by 11 to 5 stress in total, and a buff against stress as well. Given the options we have available, the Thirst is going to freak everybody out, but there's not much we can do aside from taking out that Brawler and denying him a turn. Very handily Tempting Gauntlet on the back row. 2 damage is taken, as well as a fair tranche of stress, but we will do our utmost to make sure that this guy's turns and days and life is, or I should say his unlife is numbered. Let's get rid of some of these corpses because it's the best of all available options. There we go. And in the next turn, we will definitely be taking care of some stress on the Antiquarian. Yes, you better believe it. Alrighty. She's still taking bleeds, but that isn't going to stop her from nervously jabbing at someone for the kill, of all things. Nicely done.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Let's check the chest. We're looking pretty full up. We're going to get a scout of this. We won't know until we do. Right, you've got some increased stress. We'll take care of that. Let me think. Do need crests. I can afford to get rid of the key. Do need busts. I can afford to get rid of a torch. Do need deeds. I can take a chance on a hunger check. Alright, there we go. And that is the best that I can do. But since we aren't camping, I will keep the food. For I have enough for one more hunger check. Or let's do that. 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 Jolly good. Alrighty then. Okay, let's do a quick reposition. Well, actually, Jester is kind of fine where he is. Yeah, it's fine. Got enough food for one more hunger check. We have no more torchlight. We have no more keys. We have no more shovels. We will take our chances with the leper, and unfortunately he does earn a bleed for all of his troubles. I'm going to progress downwards, and if we... Oh, good dodge. If we get a hunger check, we will have to survive it, and if we don't, we will camp and take care of our stress levels. So we're re-entering the hamlet better than we left it.
A blazing star is born.
Let's see what's behind this door now. It's an empty. Look, we made a vow. We'll take that vow and we'll honor it. Full stress heal, except for our occult, our antiquarian, who is a crazy, annoying lady. We will... Right, let's prevent ambush. Actually, ambush I'm not too worried about. Not too worried about that. Alright, one companion if afflicted. No, we aren't, so let's get rid of some of your stress. Great, that's done. Let's get rid of... Mockery. Let's think about that. Mockery is awesome. Let's choose Mockery on the leper. Great, that bounces out nicely. Take down some of his stress. And... 3, 2, yeah, okay, that works out. Done. We're looking fabulous. And if we get ambushed, that's fine. It's treasure for us.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Look, I think it's time to get out of Dodge. Let's get out of here. And, yeah, wait for our tally to rack up. Okay, so in total we've managed to pick ourselves up about 13k of gold, which is very well deserved and very well earned. 16 quests, 2 deeds, and 10 busts. Hope busts are good for something in the grand scheme of things. A quick look at what we've got upgrades for and quirks. No one seems to have jumped a level, which is fine by me. Danvers has picked up Thick-Blooded, which is just fine, and Port Sherdon has got a Wheeled Explorer down as well. Lovely jubbly, let's get back to town. So much fun.
The shuffling dead are silenced. We have claimed dominion over the ruins once more.
Alright, and we have some stress reduction passively from our new upgrade. Fergant has had light sensitive removed, thank God. Desuros has had off guard taken away, which is just fine by me. There is 1 vial of blood that was drunk to sulk thirst. Sulk! that's not a word that you hear very often in this day and age, and I'm glad to have heard it. In the meantime, we have a relatively full party roster, which is to say we can't even upgrade it any further, but we have options. Now, we've been carrying along this this extra abomination for the longest time. I'm just going to get rid of him right now, because I could use...
Useless.
Well, level 2 Vestal is averse to a level 2 Flagellant. That is the question. Monko is a Fear of Unholy and Dud hero, but he has Manslayer in exchange. Muldak is a higher level and has Soft, Kleptomania, and Clumsy. And these all strike me as being expensive and frustrating pains in the ass. That said, he does already have a whole bunch of upgrades I won't have to pay for, but I don't think it's going to be quite a balanced out exchange. Do have... No, it doesn't have the self-stress either. Curve Adventurer, Nymphomania, and Mankind Hater. These are all pretty good, but I actually have to probably do some deep thinking about this, to be entirely honest. Let's have a quick check of our level 2 Vestals in case these are any better. Balanced Clutch Hitter and Stress in Wield versus Torn Rotator and Stress in Cove. And then Tinel has Hieromania and is awesome in every other way. Yeah, I think we're better off keeping what we already have there, and yeah. Right, well, I think it's time for us to call this episode to a close. Once again, my name is Ahdoom. I hope you guys have had fun watching this episode. I certainly have. If you want to catch more of these videos every single day, please feel free to hit that subscribe button for me. I'd be grateful to get you guys coming back to see more of my stuff as I post it. In the meantime, I need to call time, clear my throat, drink this delicious whiskey, and enjoy the rest of the evening. I will catch you guys next time. Thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it.